All right, as stated, we're looking at chapter 6. So when we're looking at this, we're looking at talent acquisition again, how we're going to find, where we're going to find this high talent quality talent that we want to based on our job description. Recruiting, of course, is generating that pool of um, qualified applicants. And then, of course, it allows us to connect um, with employees, with others, sections, with other local areas that might be where we can get this talent pool from. So there's effective recruiting. Of course, we're going to start looking at it. Of course, it's strategic recruiting. You're going to have to know what your financial limits are based on the job description, based on what's going on currently in the industry. How much can we pay? What does that matter? It matters, right? Um, Time limit. When do we have to have this person in? How long are we going to take to orientate them? How long do we need to have them in? Where are we going to find them from? Are we going to find them in a high school, from a college, university, or from a workforce area? Are we going to go to just the web and place it on our job site? Are we going to go to the internally, see if there's anybody that we can actually promote? Are we looking at anybody that may know somebody that can be hired? And in a sense, employees is saying, okay, if I find you somebody that will um, fit the need, then if they stay and they work out, then you can pay that employee that actually found the person for you $100 or more. Almost what they do with at car dealerships. If you find somebody that will buy a car, then from me, then I'll pay you for it, almost like a headhunter. Then of course you're looking at the quality of talent again, and the quantity. How many do you need, and their quality? Where are we getting them from? Aside from that, then we look at also the core workers. We have those core workers that we have full time. We have temporary workers that are part time. We have those that are, in a sense, contingent or seasonal, that we only need when we have them. And then again, uh, that they are only going to be here during a contracted time, so we don't need them anymore. And then again, our part time, uh, but more than the contractors. These are typically just seasonal. I only need them during the holidays, extra people during the holidays. I don't need any more than that. Okay, and those are considered our flexible workers. The advantages is that you can hire somebody quickly, have them temporarily fit the need. Disadvantage: if you've contracted them out for a certain amount of time and no one's fit the need, or you haven't found anybody permanently, you got to recontract them. And then the other thing also is that they may not perform as much as you want them to because they're on contract. Um, their limit, their uh, if they're people that you need to have in high premium jobs, then guess what? Then it costs you some money, sometimes more than a full time employee may. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to make sure that you're going and targeting these recruits, but you still have to make sure that you're going to be making sure that you've got diversity, that you're meeting all of the unemployment, equal, our Office of um, Employment and Equal Opportunity, of course, and then of course making sure that our recruiters are trained in those areas so that we're getting the diverse cultures, we're getting the diverse people, but we're still looking at the criteria being the knowledge, skills, and abilities that they're able to do. So we're looking at the labor force population. Then we bring it down to the applicant population. Then once we look at the applicants, then we cull that even more to an applicant pool. And then from there, we cull it even more by bringing in our supervisors and our other people to look at these applications and say, okay, which ones are going to be the ones that we're going to interview? And then which ones are we going to do for second interview after that? Labor force, again, as I stated, all the persons who are actually evaluated for that section. We're taking something that's broad and we're narrowing it down, which takes time. You're going to look at different labor markets, like I said before. You're going to look at the industry. Sometimes you may steal an employee from another organization. Um, is it legal? Yeah, as long as you're not doing anything illegal. Okay, um, like promising something that you should be promising. You're also looking at the areas of the people that just graduated. And again, sometimes if you want to bring somebody in and start grooming them for a position later on, it won't matter that they have little or no experience, because you know that's what you want. You want to groom somebody to be in that area, in that job position. You recruit, again, like I said, on employer websites, on professional websites like LinkedIn. You advertise there. And of course, even on Facebook, I've seen where companies will say, looking for this person, can you give us leads? Especially if you've liked their page, they'll actually pay you if they find somebody. You always have to make sure that you maintain compliance. Um, the use or misuse of screening software. Remember, you cannot discriminate. Go back to what we talked about in chapter 3. You cannot discriminate. And make sure that if you are discriminating, there's a bona fide reason for that. You should know what that term means. Um, you have to make sure that you are that there's a proper identification or criteria for the real applicants, people that you're really going to then want to interview. And then, of course, maintaining that confidentiality and privacy for each applicant and each candidate for employment now, because you don't want them finding out about each other, okay, at all. Let's hope. That's why you want to have some leeway between interviews so they don't see each other. There's one way to get them in and another way to get them out. Perfect. Um, Using technology, of course, it is cost effective. However, um, this is one way that you can get somebody that doesn't want to go out all the time, and I know that's a preferred way now to apply. The disadvantage of that is that you're going to find more unqualified applicants, because they're going to find a way to get around some of the filters that you've placed there. Okay. For example, if they don't have a degree and you've asked for one, they're going to say that yes, that they do have one. Then you have to go in and cull all those that really don't have one. Okay. Um, some of them are not serious about wanting to be employed. So those things are going to come about as well. Um, the pros, of course, again, it improves morale in internal recruiting, because they're actually promoting within. That if they promote Joe, then guess what? Jose can come in. Two different people, right? One is called Joe, one is called Jose. So they promoted Joe. Jose can come in now. So in succession planning, it goes well. The con is that you don't get any fresh ideas from somebody that's coming out from somewhere else. Different point of views, different thoughts, different experience. So you got to weigh things out when you're looking at this. And again, the disadvantage of um, external recruiting, yes, it goes ahead and brings new people in. However, now you got to train them. Now you got to see if they're going to stay there. It takes a long time for them to adjust, to get part of it, for them to feel part of a team. So again, pros and cons to each one. The supervisor has to make the decision as to what's going to happen. Different places that we can go to, and believe it or not, prisons is another place that you can actually apply or go to, especially those that are just coming out, especially if they've done blue collar type of what's it called? As far as they broke the law, it's nothing too bad. It's not a felony. But then again, it's not something that is going to be dealing with secret information or sensitive information, so you're okay. Again, this is the criteria. In order to go ahead and get 5 hires, you're going to go through 100 contacts, looking at 30 formal applications, maybe 15 in final interview, then 10 offer recipients if you're going to try to hire 5. Now, the reason why is, again, that you want more than just for the 5. What if somebody says, no, I've already got my job? They've been hired somewhere else. You got to think about those things. So this is what we're doing. This is hiring, and this is trying to find your talent, and you're hiring them in a nutshell. Book goes into more detail. You have your assignments to do. You have um, your unit exam as well. I provided supplemental videos so that you can look at it as well. And again, if you need anything, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll see you on the flip side.